Hello everybody. In this part we will talk about conclusion and future directions. We have discussed the definition of competencies and the methodology for executing psychological typical actions online in order to provide services at a distance. We have covered various aspects of online psychological services, including the benefits, challenges, and ethical considerations. In part 1, we discussed the definition of competencies and the importance of developing specific competencies for providing psychological services at a distance. We also discussed the importance of adapting traditional therapeutic approaches to the online context. Part 2 focused on the benefits of providing psychological services at a distance. We highlighted the increased accessibility and convenience of these services and the potential for reduced costs. We also discussed how online services can be especially helpful for individuals who live in remote areas, have mobility issues, or have social anxiety. Part 3 discussed the challenges associated with providing psychological services at a distance. We discussed issues related to technology, such as internet connectivity and technical difficulties. We also discussed the importance of maintaining a therapeutic relationship when providing services at a distance. Part 4 focused on developing the methodology for executing psychological typical actions. We discussed the importance of conducting a thorough assessment and developing a treatment plan that is tailored to the client's needs. We also discussed the importance of ensuring that clients have access to appropriate technology and that the therapist has the necessary competencies to provide services at a distance. In part 5, we discussed various therapeutic approaches that can be used in the online context, including cognitive behavioral therapy, psychodynamic therapy, and mindfulness-based therapy. We also discussed the importance of using these approaches to the online context. Part 6 focused on the role of technology in providing psychological services at a distance. We discussed the various video conferencing platforms that are available and the importance of selecting a platform that is secure and user-friendly. We also discussed the importance of maintaining appropriate boundaries when using technology to provide services at a distance. Part 7 discussed case studies and examples to illustrate the benefits of the methodology. We discussed how online services have been effective in treating a range of mental health concerns, including anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Part 8 highlighted the ethical considerations that must be taken into account when providing psychological services at a distance. We discussed the importance of maintaining confidentiality and privacy, ensuring informed consent, and maintaining appropriate boundaries with clients. In this video, we will provide a summary of the key points discussed throughout the part and discuss future directions for the field of online psychological services. Summary of the key points. Overall, these videos have highlighted the benefits, challenges, and ethical considerations associated with providing psychological services at a distance. We have discussed the importance of developing specific competencies for providing services online and adapting traditional therapeutic approaches to the online context. We have also highlighted the importance of conducting a thorough assessment and developing a treatment plan that is tailored to the client's needs. It is important that clients have access to appropriate technology and that therapists have the necessary competencies to provide services at a distance. We have discussed various therapeutic approaches that can be used in the online context and the role of technology in providing services at a distance. We have also highlighted the ethical considerations that must be taken into account when providing online psychological services, such as confidentiality and privacy, informed consent, and maintaining appropriate boundaries with clients. Further considerations. The field of online psychological services is rapidly growing, and there are many opportunities for future research and development. One area that warrants further investigation is the effectiveness of online services compared to traditional face-to-face therapy. While there is evidence to suggest that online services are effective, more research is needed to determine how these services compare to traditional therapy. Another area for future research is the development of more sophisticated video conferencing platforms that incorporate features such as virtual reality and augmented reality. These technologies have the potential, as we have discussed in previous chapter, providing psychological services at a distance requires specific competencies and a tailored methodology. While online psychological services are becoming more widely accepted and utilized, there is still room for growth and development in the field. Developing specialized competencies. One area of future development is the development of more specialized competencies for providing psychological services online. As the field continues to grow, it will become increasingly important to develop competencies that are specific to the online context. One potential area for development is the integration of technology into therapy. This could involve the use of virtual reality, chatbots, and other technologies to enhance the therapeutic experience. Therapists will need to be trained in how to use this technology effectively and in how to integrate them into their treatment plans. Another area for development is the use of data analytics and machine learning in psychological services. These technologies can be used to analyze large amounts of data and identify patterns and trends that may be relevant to the client's treatment. Therapists will need to be trained in how to use these technologies to improve their treatment plans and provide more effective care. Adapting traditional approaches. As online psychological services continue to evolve, it will also be important to adapt traditional therapeutic approaches to the online context. While many approaches can be adapted for use online, there may be some approaches that are less suitable for the online context. One approach that may be needed to be adapted is psychodynamic therapy. This approach relies heavily on nonverbal communication and may be less effective in the online context. Therapists may need to adapt their approach to rely more heavily on verbal communication and use technology to facilitate nonverbal communication. Another approach that may need to be adapted is group therapy. While group therapy can be effective in the online context, there may be unique challenges associated with conducting group therapy sessions online. Therapists may need to adapt their approach to ensure that all participants are engaged and participating in the session. Integrating cultural competence. Another area for development is the integration of cultural competence into online psychological services. As online services become more widely used, it is likely that therapists will be working with clients from diverse cultural backgrounds. It will be important for therapists to be trained in how to provide culturally sensitive care and how to adapt their approach to meet the unique needs of each client. One potential approach to integrating cultural competence into online services is to provide therapists with training in cultural competency and diversity. This could involve training in cultural humility, active listening, and empathy. Therapists could also be trained in how to incorporate cultural factors into their treatment plans and how to adapt their approach to meet the needs of clients from different cultural backgrounds. improving access to services. As online psychological services become more widely accepted, it will also be important to improve access to these services. There are still many barriers that prevent individuals from accessing online psychological services, such as lack of internet connectivity, lack of access to appropriate technology, and limited insurance coverage for online services. One potential solution to these barriers is to provide online services through community-based organizations and public health clinics. These organizations may be able to provide clients with access to appropriate technology and internet connectivity, as well as connect clients with therapists who specialize in online services. Another potential solution is to increase insurance coverage for online psychological services. As more research is conducted on the effectiveness of online services, it is likely that insurance companies will begin to provide more coverage for these services. Ensuring ethical practice. Finally, it is important to ensure that ethical considerations are taken into account in the development of online services